Hey guys, welcome to the stream show. I am DJ Strick. As you can tell, we got a countdown going today, and I am so excited about this show. Now, I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but why not hang out with me today? Why not? I think it's going to be great for us to kind of hang out together for everybody that's not like the biggest Super Bowl fan, right? So I have DJ Right on Beat coming up, and he has a studio tour that we're doing today that is going to blow your mind. So I need everybody to get ready. You can go ahead and holler at me in the comments. I would love to see where you're watching from today and that you're here with us. So just when you can, chime in with me. We have so much going on in the Ecamm world, and I'm super excited about all the announcements that have been coming up, even with 4.0 and everything that's surrounding what Ecamm is doing. You guys have to be excited about it. I know that I am. I'm excited about what's happening at Ecamm, and of course, you got me every Sunday night in the stream show. And the idea of the stream show is just to be able to give you the very best in community and to help you succeed at whatever level that you are creating at. Whether you're a live streamer, whether you're someone that are doing YouTube shorts or reels and all of that, we want to come together with ideas and seeing what other people are doing across the platform with Ecamm and inspire you a little bit. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little inspiration, and we get a chance to do that all together, even if it is football Sunday, the Super Bowl that's going on. So, there's some great storylines that the NFL is using this year. Jalen Hurts actually played at Alabama, got benched for another quarterback, and now he's in the Super Bowl. Like, that's big. And he's also playing with one of his wide receivers actually went to Alabama as well to play. They've played together. It's just a great storyline, and we could use all of that in our content creation too. So you just have to be very thoughtful about, hey, how do I want to do this? How do I want to use storylines and what I'm doing and how I can reach people? And I gotta say this, Kimberly G is hanging out with me today. Hello to you, ma'am. Thanks for coming through today. I think you're gonna really love what this show is all about today. I think you're gonna, here's some things in this show that is really gonna be exciting to you as a content creator. And I'm moving this around so I can make sure I see how much time I have. Hey guys, so again, check in with us. We have so many more e-cameras coming to the stream show, people that I think that you're going to really love to see that have great stories as well. JP High Tech is coming to the show. He actually has his own business. He has a storefront now, and we're going to get a chance to tour his storefront, talk about all of his business and what he's doing. I have Chris and Jim coming from Dealcasters. They're going to be a part of the show. Of course, they're doing Amazon Live and helping people understand how Amazon Live can help them in their content creation as well, just to name a few. And then I also have Alec Johnson coming back to the show. We have a huge show talking about building courses. We're going to dive back down into that as well to help people that are at that point or that stage in their content creation where building courses is a big deal for them. Guess what? We're going to have a whole show with him again talking about all of that. So I don't want you to miss it. The stream show, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Ecamm Live's YouTube channel. This is where I want to be. That being said, tonight we're kind of diving into a studio setup. So DJ Right on Beat is out of Las Vegas. He's a DJ, he's a producer, and we're going to get a chance to talk about all of who he is and all of what he has going on. But he's so much more than that now with Ecamm coming and the product that he learned how to use. Now he's taking all of his talents to the next level, and we're going to see that today, how he's setting up other studios for people using Ecamm. You guys are going to love this show tonight, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Lights, camera,
action, join the stream team and be a part of the streaming network. Our goal is to help you succeed.
Hey, as you can tell, I get the pleasure of interviewing one of the hottest Ecamm producers in the game. This guy is super duper amazing. Like, I can't say enough how much a fan of him I am. Like, really, and to have him here in the studio, it's just really cool. DJ right on beat from one DJ to another. Welcome to the show.
Now we got to do it like this.
It's the stream show with DJ Strick.
That's how
I
we do
love
it.
it. I love it. Hey, listen, you got to use the new Rodecaster too, right?
That's the only time I hit that button.
I love it, man. So, how has it been? Like, you have been really doing some amazing builds in Las Vegas for people in studios. How has the transition from being a music DJ to now doing music and also studio video, basically, and building these video sets instead of building audio studios?
Yeah, these were all like natural progressions from being a musician in school, then becoming a DJ. And then most DJs, as you know, they start wondering how that hit song was made, and then they end up being producers. So as you
That's
become
right.
a producer, then you become a recording studio owner. And I was running my own recording studio for like 15 years. And then I started building recording studios for other people. And then now getting into the video thing, it's like, okay, if I can build recording studios, half of a video studio is that recording audio side. So natural progression going into doing the video studios. And a lot of people were excited when I started posting some of those builds on the Ecamm channel and getting lots of questions. And I'm adamant about trying to answer those questions. And I know you got some questions. So this is a perfect opportunity to talk about that stuff.
Perfect opportunity. And what I want to do now is talk about maybe one of your featured builds that you did. And this one right here, we actually got video of the beginning, how you kind of started. Now, what room is this? Is this an additional room on someone's home?
Yeah, this was a giant master bedroom on the second level of this home. These people were well-to-do family, and they wanted to do a mother-daughter type podcast show. So they asked me to come over, look at the room, and I took some video and some measurements of that room, took it back home, did some renders, and now I don't have like drafting software and all that kind of architectural kind of stuff. I used Photoshop so that I can give them like a realistic image of what it would look like based on my design and concept. I bring it back to them, so they're used to seeing their bare bones room. Now they're seeing these renders, and it gives them a great visual of what it can look like. Colors and aesthetics and decorations can all be changed, but that's the basic outline of why I wanted that build to look like that. They had
I got you.
children, and they had children and dogs, so I didn't want a bunch of tripods and C-stands in the way. I wanted to hang a bunch of that stuff. So a lot of that came into the design, of what I approached to do it that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, as I'm watching the build, and this is excellent that you can actually give a render like this to any client, like really building it out, and that you had the mind to keep all the stuff off the floor. Like, is that something you came up with, or did the client really ask for that?
Well, when I noticed they had the big dogs running around, I said, "Ooh, this can be touchy. This is expensive equipment." But it's not something that I create. If you look at professional studios, video studios that you rent, or television facilities in LA, they do hang a lot of their lighting and audio and monitors and stuff. So I had to research the rail system, and I bought that rail system, and then I had to make sure I was on studs on the ceiling. There's a lot of thought that goes into how that's hung because there's a lot of equipment. There's like 600 pounds of stuff on them rails between the monitors, the cameras, the
Wow.
lights. I even got some other splash lights on that rail system. So I had to, of course, for integrity, find the studs on that, and then all the electricity for all those lights and all the HDMI cables are all coming from the ceiling and then going to the engineer's desk in the corner of the room. So a lot of thought, a lot of wiring and deep thought of how that's going to get routed.
So we're looking at some of the panels and wiring and all the stuff you got going on. I want to get to like where you began with making sure that you treat this room well. So let's look at your clap.
This is a clap test of the room without any treatment. This is a clap test. This is the second half of the clap test. Even by my voice, you could probably hear what a difference draperies, acoustic panels, and rugs will make. So now I'm going to do the clap test. Remember how it sounded before? Dead. 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 So show them why it's dead. We have rugs, we have acoustic panels, we have draperies. Dead in the room.
One more time on that clap.
Dead room.
So during this part, DJ Right on Beat and I were kind of talking through his setup, and this is the desk setup that he has with LED lights. He has a strip on the top and the bottom, and basically is able to give him a gradient on that table. So when you're watching it and you're looking from the front side, because that's all like plexiglass on the front, so it gives it kind of like a transition with two different colors. Really, really thoughtful with that table. You were able to see that a little earlier in his rendition, what he rendered to the client. He had it in green, but when he shows it up here, it actually did come out in red, and it's really, really cool looking. You know what I mean? Like if you don't
Those are
order
the
the right,
professional, yeah.
yeah, if you don't order the right one, not enough light gets through. It just has to be the right build. So everything that I'm seeing here from what you're doing is just like off the charts. And let's look at some of the LED lights that you have as well. So what he has here is all these things are hanging from the ceiling. He already talked about them having dogs and stuff. This is on a remote, and he actually could turn all the lights on from remote, which is really, really cool. And it gives a real clean look to the room as well, because they don't have all that stuff on the floor with tripods and wires. All the wires are coming out from the top. And I really like the way he has the monitors coming down. He gave us a name of what those things were actually called, but of course, I don't remember what that is. But I think it's really cool. Like, look at this set. I mean, this is a really professional set. This is a set that's kind of like a showcase for him. And he explains a bunch of times that, he builds different types. This is more like a featured. This is very expensive set, what he's doing here. But my goodness, it's awesome. It is awesome what you're seeing right here with this build. What you did. So this is, it already had a fireplace in there, so you didn't have to do that. But you put the curtains up, the carpet down. You got the camera here that's on a slider.
Mm-hmm.
You have, this is the producer's desk. It's awesome.
Correct.
Even that looks good. Of course, you're rocking the Ecamm software.
Got to do it.
Roadcaster over there with Stream Deck.
That's
I
right.
love it. This, so you got the is that an M1 MacBook Pro?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So this is the practical. This is us setting up the room before the host and the guest comes in. So obviously get all the cameras dialed in, get the slider position, A and B points in. I was watching like a Kevin Hart, his Heart to Heart show, and like Ellen DeGeneres and stuff, and they always had this nice moving slider shot, and it gives like this parallax to the front of the desk, and anything in the foreground and background kind of moves. This really dynamic shot. So I added that to the build just recently, a few months ago. But yeah, before the clients get here, we had to dial all the lighting, get all
So
the
let me
SD
ask you this
cards
question:
formatted.
is that slider that's moving? Is that the main shot that's moving?
That's a wide shot, and each person has their own isolated camera on them, and then I'm doing the switching with Ecamm live.
I got it. So the slider would be the wide shot with two people seeing both people, and
Right.
you're able to slide that. I get it.
Right.
And then
Instead
you
of
have
just
that.
stagnant with the two people, they're actually floating a little bit like this between the foreground and background. It kind of slides, but they never get out of shot. It's cool.
I like that. And then you got the isolated shot. So it's a 3-camera setup.
Well, there's about 5 cameras, but because she only has one guest, I take the other cameras off of the poles and move them out of the way. And what's funny is you learn a lot by doing this, because I used to have the camera right in front of each guest hanging on the pole. But what happens is they're engaging with each other, and I didn't even think about that. They're turning sideways and talking to each other. So
Right.
now the camera for the guest is way on the left, and the camera for the host is way on the right. And now when they're looking at each other, the camera's right in their face. So that's a little learning thing that I found out. You see that camera on the right is for the person on the left, and the camera on the left is for the
Right.
person on the right. So
There you go.
so the auto eye focus is working, because they were turning so sideways. When I had the camera's kind of front position, I was losing the eye focus. So those are little things you got to learn when you're designing the layout of the camera positions,
Right. So I really like this. And this is a great setup. What type cameras are you using?
So when I initially built this studio, they were all ZVE 10s, and for about 4 or 5 months, that's what we were using. And then I upgraded to the FX 30s.
Okay.
And so I took all the ZVE 10s out, kind of liquidated them to help the purchase of the other stuff. But now they're all FX 30s in there, and there's quite a
You like it
difference
better?
in
You like it better?
yeah, you could tell right away, because I could look at my previous footage, and then I look at that footage of the host, and it's like it's just a whole different dimension in that sensor. I don't know what they do, but they liked it a lot, and if they see the difference, that's what matters.
That's a big deal. So
Mm.
I've thought about it the whole time, with the FX30 coming out, the EV10, everybody's been talking about this, but that camera, it's a cinema camera, so it should give you a better picture. I know it's almost twice as much at $1,800.
Yep. But I
So
still use the
it's more.
ZV-10s in my studio. I'm still using the ZV-10s because they're for this type of scenario. It's cool. But she's a very glamorous a socialite in Vegas, and she really wanted that cinema look. She didn't want that harsh video look. She wanted it to be more soft and cinema-like, and that camera did it for her. And she's seen it right away, and we seen it right away. But
Okay.
my little multiple 3-camera angles in here, they're just ZV-E10s.
I love it. I just, there's definitely a use case for it. If you light it the right way, I got to be able to get these words out. It could actually work. So I just wanted to ask that question again. And I stay in the way of this picture. I just want people to see this picture in the background.
That's the DJ promo shot. I
Yeah, I
don't have
love
that
it.
color hair no more.
I love it.
But that's what's good about my studio here, is where I test all that stuff out before I bring it into a build or consult or show some people's new items. And I had to get the slider for myself to show them what this can do. And I just have mine on the left here doing this little, not only left and right, but kind of an up and down thing. And they loved it, and we included that in their build.
Not just left and right, but up and down.
Right.
You got
Yeah.
tell me what slider you're using.
It's the Zeapon, Zeapon Micro 3 slider. And it's on this track type of system, and on the tripod that I got, I can NDI it and show you. But instead of just the rail going like this, I got it on my tripod mounted like this. So when it's going left, it's going low, and when it's going right, it's going high. And then it's got the pan and tilt motor, so you're still staying on the shot. So
Right.
like when it goes down to this lower level. And then I put this light in the foreground so you see the movement better. Sometimes you don't see the movement in the back, but when there's something in the threshold in the foreground, you get that movement. And I seen that on a show once, and I said, oh, I want to do that. But not only is the camera going left and right, but it's pivoting down and left and right with the tilt. So you have all four axes: left, right, pan, and tilt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it gives you
That's
that
awesome.
parallax. When you see the back of the room, it's just subtly, moving. Just gives a little movement and a little dynamic.
I love it. And your studio looks great too, sir. My goodness.
Thank you.
I'm taking notes over here. Like the lights, the background that you're using, the sound panel on the walls, all of your practical lighting in the back. This is just awesome, man. I am truly a fan. But let's
Mhm.
continue on some of the builds that you actually have done. So I want to be able to show. We talked about this feature build that you've done, but you can actually go a little further with this when it comes to other builds, and you explained that in this YouTube video I want to play really quick.
Okay. I designed this set. It's part of the packages that I do when I consult. Most of you seen the big, extravagant set design that I did with the hanging cameras and the monitors and the rail system. That would be like my level 3 studio build. This would be like a level 2 talk show style set design that I've done for other clients as well. And then there's the simple level 1, which would be the talking head 1 or 2 cameras that you've seen me do. So your simple talking head would be like a level 1 setup that I can consult for somebody in a small bedroom in their house. And then you can do something like a level 2 talk show style vibe in a medium size or big room. And then the level 3 extravagant studio consulting, which is multiple cameras, multiple lighting, big room, big desk, 4 or 5 guests if you wanted. So as I'm in the test kitchen before the client gets here, I have to test all these things. So I'm testing the lighting, I'm testing the mic, I'm testing the cameras, the focus, the set design, everything. I got to look at it before they get here, make sure everything's running smooth. So what I'm testing right now as well is the DJI wireless mic, which I've had since it came out, but they don't make their own lavs to go with that. So I had the Rode lav, and it is known to have a lot of interference with the DJI wireless mic. So I had to get rid of that, and I got a Shure MVL. No interference, clean sound. So I'm testing out that. Now, also, this talk show environment is great for the host and the guest, and I could engineer the show for them right at the laptop with Ecamm. But what I wanted to do was see if I could run the show myself as the host with a guest, and incognito with the Stream Deck pedal, I could have all those scenes set up and go through them with the Stream Deck pedal. So that's what I'm doing right now is I'm testing that along with the mic and the lighting and the camera. So right now I'm on the wide shot, but I can hit the Stream Deck pedal, go, hey, ladies and gentlemen, here's your host. I'm ROB, and I can go to my camera, isolated on me. And with the center button of the Stream Deck pedal, I can do my lower third. I could pop that in and let it do its thing. And I designed that in Keynote. It's a little animated overlay. So that shows up in that scene with the hide and show overlay button with the Stream Deck pedal. So I'm running the show and all the scenes from the Stream Deck pedal. Now, if I want to go to the guest, I go, ladies and gentlemen, here's my guest. And I can, boom, go to that scene. And let me switch chairs because I'm a one-man band. I got to test everything myself. So there I am in the guest chair talking to the host, and the host is switching the scenes with the Stream Deck pedal, and nobody knows the wiser. And then we can go to another angle where I got a nice little Vegas overlay. I'll go back over here. I got the Vegas overlay, and I could talk again, show some branding, whatever. Stream Deck pedal, switch to a 2-picture, person pip scene, guest and host in the same shot, and I can go back to any scene, all the previous scenes, back to the host, back to the overlay lower third. So that's what I'm doing. I'm testing out where I can run the show. You can set up your intro scene, all your consecutive scenes, fly through them, and nobody knows the wiser that you're doing the switching yourself with the Stream Deck pedal. So that's what I'm testing today. Pretty cool. If you guys got any questions about the cameras, lenses, lighting, set design, decor, Stream Deck pedal, DJ wireless mic, all the things that I'm testing, just hit me up in the comments and I'll answer the questions. But that's what I have to do.
That's what's up, man. I love this. So
No
let me do this.
hands.
Let me do this right. No hands. I love it. So let me do this right now. People are seeing this and DJ right on beat. They want to know how they can get in contact with you, whether they have questions or whether they could hire you, brother. How can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, one of the best ways is in the Facebook community, the Ecamm Live group. You can message me right in there. I've got a lot of people. Sometimes they don't want to ask the questions in the comments because maybe they feel like they don't want to be ridiculed for not knowing something, or they just want to directly ask me a question, and I get a message and I'll answer the question there, or they can contact me. And I actually got somebody who was in the Ecamm um, group. They messaged me from North Carolina and they want me to go out there and look at a facility that they might want me to build something in. It's like a warehouse type environment. Definitely it needs some acoustic treatment and some cameras and stuff. But I got people who contacted me right through there. And of course, you can go to the YouTube channel and message me in there. The YouTube channel is Right On Beat. That's the same link that you just showed. I got a couple videos in there, in the email, but maybe you can put it in the show notes, my email or whatever you want to do to get a hold of me. But people, they with the social media now, they tend to know how to find you and get a hold of you.
Gotcha. You're on Facebook. You're on YouTube. Are you on Instagram by any chance?
Yeah, Instagram at DJ Rob LV, DJ ROB LV, just like that.
You got it, guys. So I wanted to stop. I know we still have some more things we're going to talk about here, but I wanted to at least ask that question now because you have to get it while it's hot. People are seeing the things that you could do, and I know they're going to have questions. So knowing how to get in contact with you is so important. So we talked about your featured showcase build that you did, and then you were explaining more like a C level or a B level shot, but you're also saying like if you were going to be a talking head, like doing a studio with just you as a talking head, that's like your level one.
Mm-hmm.
Explain
Yeah, and
that
that's
to
what
me.
most people need. I think most people really want to do something like this. They want to maybe do a cooking channel. They want to do product presentations or reviews, and even this is more elaborate than what an A level thing would be. But an A level thing would be maybe a desk, a good microphone, one or two cameras, one key light, maybe some practicals in the background, but all that stuff, that's not too expensive and you can get what you want done. And then, as you progress and your channel gets popular, your podcast gets popular, whatever you're presenting starts grabbing more attention, more of those eyeballs,
Right.
uh, you'll start investing more. A lot of people start with their iPhone camera. Next thing you know, they got FX3s and stuff because they've built and they've learned and they progress and then the equipment gets better. But I always tell people, hey, if you want to do a simple show, let's build you a simple setup, get you comfortable with it, and then when you want to move up next level, you can. So I always like to offer that A level, one or two cameras, decent audio, couple practical lights, decent key light. You can make a so average camera look great. Lighting is more important than anything. A lighting and lenses can make a big difference. So I explain that to people and do the little talking head thing, just like this. And then you want to do the talk show scenario like that thing you just showed. That's like a level B. And then the elaborate studio with multiple microphones, multiple cameras, monitors hanging off the ceiling, all that kind of stuff. That's your level C and above type camera, type studio.
Got you. So let me ask you this question. What are some of the new trends that you're seeing as you're doing video builds right now in studios?
I mean, I don't think technically things have been the same for a long time. Audio is important, video is important, lighting is important, lenses are important, cameras are important. But the way you get things routed can be important too. Like, for example, the audio. If I have 4 microphones and 4 headphones, that would be 8 XLR cables going to that desk. Because not only do they have 4 microphones at the desk, but if they wanted to, they could all have headphones. There's a headphone multiple headphone unit in that desk. So one thing that's cool is doing the audio over Ethernet. Now in the recording studio world and in houses of worship and even concert venues, when they have a front of house mixer and a back of house mixer, they would send all those channels with Ethernet because Ethernet's
Right.
capable of all those analog channels, turning them digital through the Ethernet and going to the other mixers. So what I did in that studio build is I did the 4 XLR panel box that goes Ethernet through the wall, up the ceiling, and down to the producer's desk. So I don't have bulky XLR cables going all the way through the ceiling. I got a clean signal with one Ethernet cable. So those type of trends are cool, where you can simplify the routing and all the cabling, because you want your stuff to look clean.
Right.
So other trends are that the technology is getting better. The cameras are getting cheaper and they're getting cleaner. Audio, like the Rodecaster Pro 2. I mean, this technology is helping me offer this stuff to clients. It's helping everybody look better as well, you know?
It really is. It really is. So when you're doing a build for a client, I know you said that I see you had a production table there. Are you recording? Are you being the producer of these shows, or do you have other people? Or are you training the clients how to do it?
Yeah, after the build is done, I'll do the first few episodes, and I know that room because I built it. So obviously, I need to get in there and do a couple runs and train a couple people. So I've trained a couple people for that studio, but I've trained people for other studios, and sometimes train a client if the client's intuitive enough and they can run some software, they can do it themselves. But that studio is pretty elaborate, so that producer's desk is running the Ecamm switching and running the Rodecaster Pro, and we want to do it live to tape. That's what's great about Ecamm Live, is we can try to produce that show completely live with all the camera switching, and then all my editor has to do is button up any mistakes, or definitely do the intro, do some lower thirds, and do the outro with credits. So most of it's already done. That's the luxury of doing it that way, and the technology is making it where. And what's great about Ecamm, as soon as I push end record, I'll that show file comes up. It's not like it has to render like how Final Cut has to render. An hour show is going to take half an hour. As soon as I end the recording on Ecamm Live, I
Right.
pop that up with QuickTime and make it full screen on those monitors. So when they're done with the show, they can start watching it back, seeing how great it looks, see how the sound is. The guest gets to see how they look, and they get excited because they know that's going to be edited into their final show, and they get to preview it almost instantly.
That's awesome. So are you doing scripting for them as well, or are they handling that part? Like show
And so
scripts
as you
and
see
all of
in
that?
that, yeah, where that big beanbag chair is in that one room, there's a lady who's kind of directing the show. She's got the show notes, and the host has show notes. The host is getting so comfortable now that she wants to get rid of the paper notes, because I told her about using a teleprompter, and I showed
Right.
her and I demoed it. I brought mine over there and demoed it, and she was a little too. She's so worried about her look and being on point and looking at the person, trying to engage in the person instead of the teleprompter type of vibe, which is smart. So, but now she wants to maybe look at getting a teleprompter. Now, whether it's an on-camera one, or maybe I use one of those monitors and put her notes on there. So like when the guest is talking, she can pop up and look at that monitor at her next question instead of having papers on the desk. So they're getting comfortable with that. And those kind of trends of having a teleprompter on the actual camera works great, or just having it off camera on a monitor, like somehow the news desks do sometimes. So that's where we're looking at next.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I want to go back because we talked about this in the beginning, but I think it's appropriate to kind of re-ask this question about you being a DJ, building audio studios, and now building video studios, and you're using all of that experience to treat the rooms, but your video portions of it and the aesthetics of all the lights, I think it's just a home run. Like, what makes you go the extra mile for your clients to build such elaborate studios?
Probably my interest in when I was doing my own stuff as a DJ, and sometimes you had to bring your own lighting package, and you wanted to learn about those lights, and being in a band, you wanted the dynamics of the band to match the lighting. So I kind of, it's like that natural progression. I thought lights would be just as important as the cameras, and they love it when they see it, and people like, look at this. These are just simple uplights that you get in the DJ stores. Like,
Yeah.
these are just the ADJ uplights, but you put them in the right position and you do a little practicals here and there. It looks great. So it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's a look. And as long as you have professional lights that don't have flicker, like sometimes you could take some of these lights, and if you start dimming them, it's changing the rate of that LED, because the LED
Right.
is actually pulsing super, super fast. And if you see that banding or flickering, you either got to change your frame rate on your camera or change the lights that you have. So that was an issue because when I bought some of the lighting for that studio, I had to make sure there was no banding or flickering going on.
And that's just experience working on your
See, you
side.
could.
Yeah, I can see
Mhm.
them there. I see them on the floor
Those are just
there.
little DJ up lights, so it shows you
Wow.
what they're pointing at. Mhm.
And they work great. They look great on camera. There's so many different lights. I like those lights because I feel like they give the most power compared to some of the other floodlights that are out there. Like I've had a couple
And if
of
you
different
notice,
ones.
yeah,
Go
and if
ahead.
you notice, there's no cable on that light. Those are battery powered, so I could just charge them. They'll last for about 20 hours in here at these little dim, simple settings, but,
Wow.
that way there's no cables on the floor to trip over, and just drop them in and turn them on.
Give me those. The name of that says DJ.
Those are the ADJ Megahex Pars. You can buy those
I'm
on
taking.
Amazon.
I'm taking notes, man.
Mhm. I've had a lot of people ask me about that in the Ecamm thing, and I send them the link to the product so they can find, and, they're great.
I love it. I love it. Is there anything that we're missing? Like, is there a question out there I haven't asked you?
Oh, shoot, nope.
I know
I
we've
mean,
talked
it's
about
your
a
show.
lot
It's your
tonight,
show.
and I know a lot of people have questions and all of that, and we've already talked about how they can get in contact with you. But I do want to restate that, so at the end of the show, people can definitely go to your YouTube. What's that? Right on Beat Productions.
Mhm.
Is
Just
that
Right
right?
On Beat is the
Right
YouTube.
on,
Yeah, their
right on
YouTube
beat
channel is just
for the
called Right
YouTube
On
channel.
Beat.
And the
Mhm.
video that we watched was in the test kitchen. So that's the video that I pulled up that you guys can search and see what he was talking about as far as him having a interview guest in the studio, how he has that set up. And of course, you have Facebook, you're on Facebook, and you're on Instagram. Can you give those titles as well?
Yep, the at DJ Rob LV is the Instagram, and the Facebook is Robert, and then DJ Rob Hathcock. Because Facebook had those rules about how you change the name, so I had to have the full name in there, but that's fine. And the Ecamm, I try to be active in the Ecamm community group, but I'm gonna tell you, this February got crazy, and I want to go on more and more, but I haven't been able to. I wanted to fit your show in, and it's getting tight. Everything's getting
Yeah,
tight.
it's
Not
getting
only with
tight.
builds, but I got the DJ stuff, and I got location stuff. I'm doing music videos, and what's great about this, the lady who's doing the podcast, she's doing a lot of location stuff. So we have to tie that in. Even though we're trying to go live to tape, we got to insert. If she goes and interviews somebody who does dog nutrition, and we went to the food factory where the people build, create the dog food, and we did all this B-roll. So when they're talking about it, it shows up in the show. So location shooting is getting crazy. That's why I got the FX30 and this crazy gimbal and all that stuff. But it goes hand in hand. You'll start doing a podcast. Next thing you know, you're going to be doing location stuff, and it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper.
So that's
And
the
I still
next
have my.
thing for me as
Mhm.
well with the stream show. Like I have another studio that I'm going to review, but I'm gonna get a chance to go to that studio. I really wanted to come to yours, but the dates for me getting out couldn't match. Like who wouldn't want to come to Las Vegas, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But maybe the next time we could do it live in person together and kind of go through the studio because I want to see not like we had a chance to kind of see what you've done for some of your clients, but you also have a full studio there as well with multiple rooms too, right?
Yeah, right behind this wall is my audio recording studio. I have a live camera in there right now. So I just switched to that. So there's a camera in there, and that's feeding HDMI and the audio, like I was telling you about the Ethernet. That's
Right.
going into this room. So I can record audio in there, or I could do a tutorial on some software in there, and vice versa. I could be doing video in here and send the audio there and record it, multiple channels into there. Um, I'd say 60% of what I do is audio production for a lot of the shows in Vegas. So I got to do a lot of recording, a lot of vocal recording. I just did a huge production last night at the MGM Grand Garden for the 7-Eleven company. And what's great is sometimes I do these production numbers and I never get to see them because I hand it off to the client, and it's big show pieces, big production numbers for choreographers and stuff. And sometimes I get lucky that I'm actually DJing that event as well. So last night I got to DJ at the event and watch all my production numbers as they happen. And it was called a tribute to the movie. So it was all movie soundtracks with probably about 50, 60 dancers, aerialists. It was a big production, but I'm trying to split my time between building the studios, doing that audio production for clients, doing my DJ stuff, and still producing music. I produced the little Ecamm Fam Jam jingle last year for one of those
Right.
challenges. I said I wanted to one up everybody, and instead of just playing some canned music or royalty-free music, I produced that track. And then Anna and Fulgens, they just went crazy. And of course, Ken and Glenn hit me up and said, "Oh, can we use that?" And I said, "Of course, it's made for you guys." So that's my life is music, video, DJing, and you know how it goes.
I love
We're
it.
getting
Yeah.
pulled left, right, and center.
We just do it all, right?
It's fun.
Graphics and everything else too.
Yeah, gotta have
Yes.
it. Gotta have all those
it.
in your back pocket. Mhm.
Gotta have it. So today, guys, I really wanted to encourage you with seeing what DJ Right on Beat is doing. So today is not just it's to push the envelope a little bit about what you could do in building. So he is a studio builder. He is a music producer, video producer, executive director of some of those productions. Okay. And he's doing on location shots. He's doing DJ work. And a lot of us have all of these things under our umbrellas as well. I want you to be thinking about this. It's just not like using Ecamm and you're the on-air host. That's just something that we can do as well. But also, guys, think about yourself as a producer, even as an executive producer of shows, and you can start using that in your resume. But when you look at, DJ Right on Beat, I was talking a couple of weeks ago on the show about all the remote jobs that are available for people that know how to do virtual production. And using Ecamm, having this quality of being able to produce video through Ecamm virtually, this puts you in a whole nother area where people are looking for folks behind the scenes to be able to do this, right? So that's just one thing.
The tools are there.
Tools are there.
The tools are here for us now. Now we just go out and get it. These tools are making it so easy for us. Grasp onto these tools, grasp onto Ecamm Live, and grasp onto some cameras. You can do those location shoots for conventions and talking head things. It's fun. You learn a lot just getting into it.
That's awesome. Thank you for your time. You've been excellent. I told you I'm a big fan, man. I love what you do. My dream is to be able to get you and Keith Pelzer in the same room and let's just talk shop for a long time. I know we'll have a good time. So again, thank you and wish you well in everything you do, sir.
All right.
Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of The Stream Show.